Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a wild story for you here today. So this is one where a wife thought that she disguised her affair, but the husband actually found out and secretly left her, So this is one of those situations where the dude took the logical route. He said, you know what? I'm going to handle this properly. I'm going to get my affairs in order, and then I'm going to divorce her ass. So let's see how this one played out. Guys, do not forget to like the video on your way in. Make sure you subscribe if you are new here, and let's take a listen to this story. A 35-year-old man shares the story of how his 33-year-old wife believed she had covered her tracks during an affair, but a few overlooked details led him to quietly uncover the truth. He packed up his life and left her in a shocking twist that she didn't see coming. He says, I knew something was off, but I couldn't prove it yet. I'm a 35-year-old guy, and I was married to my wife, who's 33, for nearly 8 years. We met in our mid-20s, we hit it off fast, and were married. Within 2 years, we were married, he says. Life was good, or so I thought. We both had stable jobs. We were saving for a house, and our relationship, while not perfect, seemed solid on the surface. But around the middle of last year, I started to feel like something wasn't quite right. She was on her phone a lot more. She began working late more frequently. And when I asked her about her day, I would get vague answers or forced smiles. No fights, no drama, just this strange, detached energy that I couldn't shake. One of the clearest ways to, I suppose, learn if somebody is cheating, by the way, is if they just are vague about crap and they don't tell you where they were, for example. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've got a wife, you've got a girlfriend, and she can't answer where she was. She's being vague about it. Like, that is cause for concern, in my opinion. And again, this is something that men will be told we're insecure for, right? If you sit there and go, hey, where were you? And you actually press because the woman doesn't answer, then people are going to call you insecure, even though it's a very reasonable question to be asking. So she starts working late. And a lot of these women who pull this crap too, they actually work in professions that have no reason to be working late in the first place. So, it's a very good question to be asking, like, hey, where the hell were you? What's going on? He says, it wasn't one big thing that tipped me off. It was the pattern. Her texts became cryptic. She started locking her phone. She changed her passwords for security. And whenever she'd head out for solo gym sessions, she would come back overly cheerful, like she was overcompensating. Okay, changing passwords. So this implies that she hadn't done this before and the dude knew her passwords previously. She's going out specifically on solo gym sessions, coming back overly. So things are starting to get a little bit weird. As far as weirdness goes, this isn't as weird as a lot of other things we've seen where wives will just, they'll have work drinks until like 1 a.m. with coworkers and crap like that. I wouldn't say it's that degree of concerning, but it's still a degree of concerning that isn't really good, right? He says, I didn't want to accuse her of anything without proof, so I just observed. I didn't tell her I was suspicious, I just played dumb, and it was easier that way. I started taking mental notes of her behavior, her schedule, even her scent. Okay, he says there were days when she came back wearing perfume that she didn't own. That's interesting. Okay, at this point, I think it's safe to assume, hey, what the hell, who is she actually seeing? What's going on here? Right, so again, a lot of very questionable things starting to stack up here. The woman thinks that she's doing well. She thinks she's disguising it fine. But you know what I say, guys, is like, when dudes have a gut feeling, a lot of the times it's just not wrong, And society will tell us never to follow that gut feeling. Don't listen. You're insecure. All of these sorts of things, okay? But men have gut feelings for a reason. And if your gut is telling you that something is wrong, chances are something is actually wrong. He says, what finally gave it away was a stupid receipt, a paper trail she didn't even think to hide. She told me she was having a girls' night out. Again, okay. This is, guys, if you have a girlfriend or a wife and she's having girls' nights out, can I just say, what the hell are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, think back to if you're from a family that's still together, okay, you've got a mother and a father who are still in the picture, maybe married or something. I understand that's less and less likely these days, right? But do you think that, wives of like 20 years are having girls' nights out? Do you think that a mother who is in you know, a relationship that is solid, right? A marriage is having girls' nights out. And yet society wants you to believe that this crap is normal. Yeah, guys, my girlfriend, she's just going out there on the town. She's going clubbing. I'm not allowed to come because it's a girls' night out. Okay, she's wearing Lord knows what. She's getting attention from Lord knows who, but I don't want to be that insecure guy. It's incredibly stupid. Okay, this is like the equivalent, right? Let's not sugarcoat this. Women get a lot of attention from random men when they go out like this. Girls groups, they go in the clubs and things like this, okay? So if women are going to go out there and invite attention from men, I think the equivalent of this would be men going out there and giving attention to women. I think the equivalent is honestly dudes going out here to you know, script clubs and things like that. But of course your girlfriend wouldn't be okay with you going out there and giving attention to women. You see, like, women are allowed to invite attention from men, and if you call it out, then you're insecure. But men are not allowed to go out there and give attention to women, or else, you know, that's just instant relationship breakup territory. I think it's very, very one-sided. I think girls going out, having girls' nights out, is completely ridiculous and unhealthy for relationships. Anyway, he says, but I found a crumpled dinner receipt in her gym bag from that same night. Dinner for two at a place we'd never even been to together. Our entree was for seafood. Excuse me, one entree was for seafood. She's allergic to that. The other, steak. I don't eat red meat. That same night, she came home saying they just had drinks. Yeah, so she had a receipt for somewhere she didn't actually go, and it was a dinner receipt for two people, one of the meals of which she was allergic to. He says, I knew right then, and I made my plan. She'd lie, she would cry, she would deny, and I didn't want the drama. I wanted distance, I wanted out. Over the next 3 weeks, I slowly moved things out of the apartment. I rented a storage unit, I updated my work address, I signed a lease on a 1-bedroom across town, and she didn't notice a thing. The final move came on a Friday. She texted me to say that she was working late again. I packed up everything that was mine, furniture, clothes, tech. I even cleaned the place and left the keys on the counter. The note I left was short. I know everything, don't contact me. Then I blocked her on everything, phone, email, socials, her friends, her family. I was gone before she even knew that I was leaving. See, I really like this approach, guys, because truthfully, this guy has no reason to continue talking to this woman whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like, these stories where men will have to divorce their wives, right, because they're cheating, but then somehow they don't block them, or they have these big, long conversations with these women. I personally think it's a waste of time. I think dudes should just block these women and immediately move on. So good on him for doing this. Apparently, she came home to an empty apartment and she lost her mind. She tried to call, she spammed my email, she even showed up to my workplace. Security turned her away. Eventually, a mutual friend told her that I had moved out and that I knew about the guy. She emailed one last time, said it wasn't what it looked like, and that I'd made a mistake. I didn't respond. Excellent stuff. So this guy blocked her on everything, you know, completely left the situation. She's obviously trying to contact him, but he says no. I think that's a great way to handle it. He says, it's been 5 months since I walked out. I've reconnected with myself. I've started seeing someone new. I'm constantly questioning, he says, but most importantly, with seeing this new person, I'm not constantly questioning my reality anymore. He says, I've learned that silence is sometimes the loudest response that you can give to someone who's betrayed you. I totally agree with that. I think this dude handled it well. I think this woman would have flipped the hell out when she came home and discovered that he moved out. I think he did pretty damn well, all things considered. So guys, we're going to be leaving it there. So make sure you take care of yourselves. Don't forget to drop a comment, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.